Hey Blue Flyer, I just watched your video, made a comment on it. How you doing, bro? Welcome in here. I'm not going to wait long before I get right into it because chances are there may only be 6 people joining in here. Okay, for those of you that think I am parading around here, not um, parading around here and pretending that there are these things around here, that is wrong. They are around here, and that was once again solidified the other night. I had contact, um, what was that, almost 6 months ago? Almost 6 months ago, I had contact. I found a 17-inch footprint, 8 foot wide at the toes, wedge shape, branches with live bark tossed across the trail. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But hey, these guys, the other night, I was walking the dog right down the street. Just all I had to do was cross the street and go down the street that was there. Okay, I'm going down the street. Everything's cool. The dog's like pulling a little bit. It stops to check out a little sniff zone, and then it pulls a little bit, and it stops to sniff a little sniff zone. It's sniffing this and that, and it's making its way down the street. We get about 5.5 minutes down the street, and I all of a sudden had the realization that I said, I've heard of people doing this, and so I'm going to do it. I said, wait, let me read your comments. Okay, yeah. That dog was perfectly capable of escaping. Angel for animals. That dog was perfectly capable of escaping. All I had to do was let go of it, and it would go right back to the house. That dog knew right where it was going. But let me finish my story. Okay. As I'm walking down there for like 5 minutes, I just said, I've heard of other people doing this. And I am just going to say, hey, tall man, I'm just walking and I don't want to be afraid. 3 seconds later, I said, man, if one of these things whoops at me, I'm not going to whoop back. That's exactly what happened. It went, whoop, and the P on the end was a pop, whoop. I can't do it. I cannot do it. My lips just don't get wet enough, or they're not just not wide enough. I cannot duplicate that exact sound. But when that P went off, that dog tucked its tail, turned a 180, and dragged me out of there. And there is nothing else in the forest around here that would do that. I was not near anybody's property close enough that they would know I was there. Nothing was there. And so anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that, hey, these things are out there, and you have probably have had contact that you did not know about. They contact you in many ways. They contact you in many ways, and until you start to investigate that, you will not know all of them. You will never know all of them. They do contact you if you are a hiker, fisherman, camper or a hunter, you have had these encounters, and I don't care how many subscribers are tuned in right now. I really don't. Thank you for showing up, Angel. I know you're having difficulties, and God bless you, honey. Um, hey, you haven't been on in a while, and anyway, these things, I never wanted to go down this tunnel, but I feel that as a journalist, I have to let you know what I have found out. And these things actually are down the street from my house, and they are probably down the street from your house. It just depends on how close. Now, I live in the Sam Houston National Forest. Now, if you listen to people that are closer, that have like green belts and stuff, they're closer to neighborhood cities and they have green belts. There are incidents that happen near dumpsters where they go raid dumpsters, and they don't leave a mess. They go get what they want, and they leave the rest, and they close the lid. They actually are respectful of that. It's just mind blowing. It is actually mind blowing that they actually respect that. Even if it's garbage cans behind your house, they go in there, they get what they want out, and they put the stuff back in that they don't, and they put the lids back on. Okay, how do you explain that? Anyway, so this guy, as I'm walking the dog, whoops at me. And if you don't know what a whoop is, I'll try it right now. If I don't get it right the first time, I'll do it twice. Whoop! That wasn't right. Whoop! But the on the end, the P on the end is a pop. And as soon as that P popped, the dog I was walking turned around, did a 180 on me, sent me back the other way, and was dragging me like I normally have a 3 foot stride. I've got now a 6 foot stride. This dog is dragging me out of there. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm trying to stop the dog. It took, I don't know, 150, 200 feet, and I finally got the dog to settle down a little bit enough for me to console her. And then, all right, I'm seeing you guys' comments now. I've been seeing them pop up, but I had to get my story out. Well, it was a girl dog. It was a boxer Dane. So, a large dog. A large dog. Yeah. It that P, that pop on that P on the end of that, whoop, and it went. I can't do it. I can't do it. But I heard it, and when that dog heard it, that tail, and it turned around and left. Okay. There's nothing in the forest that does that. There is nothing in the forest that does that except what? A mythical creature? You gonna tell me a mythical creature told that dog to leave? Are you serious? Are you gonna tell me a mythical creature told that dog to leave? Because I was wanting to stay there. I wanted to stay there. I was ready to have a conversation. I'm in the spirit. I was armed. No, I was not. That's right. I chose not to go armed because I had a beer. I chose not to go armed because I had a beer. And so, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Come on. Blue Flyer and Angel. Angel, are you a believer or are you a knower? This thing I encountered wasn't necessarily an animal, but it wasn't necessarily a human. Uh, I did uh, put my camera on video and stuffed it in my pocket because every time I ever tried to do any type of audio video um, out in the open, I never had any contact until it failed. And it's weird how your battery, like at 56%, suddenly goes to zero. Yeah, that's just weird shit. So, um, yeah, what I did end up with was a almost a 6 second clip of me putting my camera in my pocket, and then I produced the video after I pulled it out of my pocket, realized it had not been recording. I thought I had recorded the whoop, and um, it had not recorded. I'm sorry if I just blew everybody's eardrums out. Sorry about that. Um, but that's what it does. It sounds like it's 30 feet from you, and it may be 130 feet from you. I mean, it sounds like it's that close. It really is. I'm telling you, as somebody who's been right there. Uh, so, anyhow, the dog dragged me back, and even though I said I wouldn't do a who back, it went whoop, and I did a whoop right back. 3 seconds after I just said I wouldn't do it, I did it, and it did not reply. And I, when the dog took a route, took me the other way, I just decided that okay, that may have been a friendly encounter, but I'll never get to know because the dog is so frightened. There's no way I'm gonna have a conversation with that dog skitzing out. And boy, it was dragging me out of there big time. Okay, nothing scares a boxer Dane as much as a frickin' Sasquatch. Okay, there's almost no other animal in the forest that's gonna scare it like that. It's gonna be haunches up, growling, a warning, and yet uh, it didn't do any of that. This is not a pussy dog, but it was at that moment. And there is nothing in the forest that makes that dog a pussy like Sasquatch. And that's what it was. Now, I wanted to tell you guys, I think I started off with this. Most of you had had a Sasquatch moment, and you just don't know because you don't know what to look for. You have to listen to these stories. Go to thefactsbyhowtohunt.com, subscribe, listen every day. Listen every day. Listen to his old stories. Listen to his hunting stories. They're awesome. Okay, you'll enjoy them. It has nothing to do with Sasquatch. But listen to this guy's stories. He reads emails from people that have had these encounters. Okay? They're not much different than what I just had. And I'll tell you, you gotta listen. And most of you are probably already Axis. I'm not sure quite how to say your name, but it sounds like Axis is what you are. Thank you, Angel, for having everybody click the like button. It's just 3 or 4 of you in here, and everybody do click the like button because you know what? These things are around here, and you have had experiences. You just don't know what to look for. Sometimes it's just a little shifty figure that seems to be about 4 or 5 feet off the ground that you might have noticed a little movement. Sometimes it's a little figure in the field. There may be a field of blueberries or whatever, and they're out there eating them. So they may be on a creek, and they're eating mussels or clams, and they're digging them out of the sand and eating them, or maybe they're just drinking. Now, if it's a babbling brook, you can actually find Bigfoot on a babbling brook because you can bust them because they can't hear you sneaking up on them. But you know what? I pity the fool that sneaks up on a fucking Sasquatch, especially in Texas. They aren't really nice, but they do frequently run off when surprised. All right, so relish in that thought. Now, while you're thinking in all that, there is a place called Stubblefield Lake that's on the north tip of Lake Conroe, and I will be hosting. Well, I wouldn't say I would be hosting, but I'm inviting a bunch of people to get together and go out there in late September when it starts cooling off. It's in Texas. It's going to be hot until late September. It may still be hot in late September, but it's probably going to be cooling off. You know, if you want to hear these sounds of what these things make and know that there is no other forced animal possibly could make these sounds, contact me through the comments. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. A lot of people are curious. All right. A lot of people are curious. Y'all contact me and let me know that you will come. There will be people that are trained with guns that will not let anything happen to, well, presumably not let anything happen to your children. I encourage you to bring your children. Okay? They love the sounds of children, and they tend to not attack. Okay? We can have a little fire out there. We can camp out. Everybody has a good time. There's going to be watchmen watching over us, and that is all great. Come out there, listen to these things, scream bloody fucking murder at night. It will send chills down your spine. But if you're into horror movies, you're into this kind of thing. Okay? Your kids may not be, but they may be. So, if they're into that kind of thing, yeah, these things are real. And they do scream this blood-curdling woman screaming, surrounded in a civil defense alarm, surrounded in a howl. And you can listen to that howl on either Ohio Howls on YouTube. It's not a channel name. Just search it as a topic. And also on TAPS. TAAPS. They're local. They come out here. In fact, they're planning a get-together in September. And we may merge that and have a big get-together with those guys. Because those guys are really experienced at doing this. And if you want to have the real experience, without the fear, come out and do that. They are on Facebook. I am not on Facebook. So I don't know when they're going to do that. Please, it's up to you guys. Let me know when they're going to do that. And thank you for listening. Um, hey, Axis, what was that you linked? Y'all been linking stuff. What was that y'all linked? I've been waiting to smoke this cigarette for what, about 25 minutes? Louisiana Bigfoot and Texas Bigfoot are very similar, as well as Oklahoma Bigfoot. Some of them are aggressive, some of them are not. Some of them will tell you, if you can have a dialogue, that there is a bad one. Okay? Some of them are mentally ill. That's why there will be people there that are armed. Okay? Because occasionally there is a mentally ill one that will want to just like charge everybody. But as long as they don't actually threaten, yeah, you should never shoot one. Ever. Ever. Don't ever, ever, ever shoot one of these fucking things. Especially if there's more than one. You will be dead by sunrise. I'm going to check that link out as soon as we get done with this. And I'm about done. Unless you guys want to have okay, now I can pay attention to your chat. And I'm done saying what I was going to say for a minute or two. So if anybody has any questions. Well, thank you. I love you too. Yeah, I love all my subscribers, especially the ones that have stuck stuck with me through the the rabbit hole thing and come back out the other side with me. I appreciate that. I've still done and went out with News Now, Ninja, America First, Blue Line Watcher, and Good Citizen News. We went out to Corrigan and got good there. A couple of us went out 3 days before. Jesus loves you too, Axis. Okay, your bud Ella. What is that? Is that activism, or is that like a cute dog video? I'd watch it either way. But anyway, if there's nothing else, there's no questions coming in. Oh, really? Area 51. Awesome. I'll check that out. In fact, I'll do that since nobody has any questions. I think we can end this. Yeah, I'm not going down there tonight. I am not going down there tonight. Uh, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. And I can feel it from here. Believe me. I told y'all before, I can feel them calling me sometimes. And then I go take the dog for a walk and they holler at me and scare the shit out of the fucking dog. And I'm like, that was the perfect time to have a conversation. They were being calm. and the dog freaked out. So, did I have the confrontation because of the dog? That would lead people to believe that possibly they weren't being conversational. They were trying to scare the dog, and they succeeded. They scared the shit out of the dog. Well, they got rid of me and the dog because they got rid of the dog. The dog was dragging me. Some of you probably saw that video, but Blue Flyer, I know you did. Angel, you never saw that. Axis, you never saw it. You didn't comment on it if you did. But yeah, that last video I posted where the dog had drugged me out of there, I thought I was recording in my pocket, and then as soon as that contact happened, I pulled my phone out of my pocket as I'm doing 6-foot strides following the dog, trying not to drop my phone, and I noticed it had shut off, and I hit record again and stuffed it back in my pocket, but this time I stuffed it in my shirt pocket, and it kept going, and it caught me trying to calm the dog down as we're going down the road. I'm like, I'm running out of breath. I'm running out of breath trying to slow the dog down, and I'm taking 6-foot strides where I normally take about 3.5-foot strides. But anyhow, yeah, it was something that if I could have just let the dog go, which I couldn't, I would have stayed there. I would have stayed there and had a conversation, because it seemed like it was ready to have a conversation. It seemed like it knew who I was, but it did not reply back to me. When it hooped at me and I hooped at it back, I did a owl hoot mimic right back, and it didn't say anything. And the dog was dragging me away. And I'm like, okay, I'm listening for this thing. The common thing is for it to pace you out. It walks in the woods to the side of you. And I heard none of that. It was not following me. It basically just scared the dog away, and it drugged me away. And it was done with me. Probably achieved its mission. And anyway, I've been on here long enough. God bless you guys. Thank you for showing up. And if you've got any ideas about what this thing was thinking, please post it in the comments, and we'll get those out to the people. God bless you. And concerned citizens, SIG out. I don't know why the X is so hard to hit.